Current MBT tools generally create test cases from SUT models. This means that the generated test cases are testing the model rather than the SUT itself. MBT tools rarely create models based on explicitly specified test cases, and they do not partially automate these test cases either. Providing a means to do this would allow direct testing of the SUT. In the normal automation process, a tester will manually write test cases, then script test implementation code to drive the system under test, or the SUT. We present FormTester, a new MBT tool that addresses these shortcomings. Using FormTester, the tester will still write manual test cases, but these now are used to recover a model of the SUT. From this model, test implementation code is automatically generated, and this then drives the SUT. Let's look at how manual test cases are used to reverse engineer the SUT model. They are specified in feature files. So on the right hand side we have 4 feature files for an application that we're automating. These feature files compose of state transition descriptions with test data contained within test cases. So there's a test case with that information, and they contain several test cases which are then used to reverse engineer the test model. Let's look at how these test cases are specified. Firstly, we specify the start page of the test, where the test will initialize itself by bringing itself to this specified page. We then select an action to perform on this page and also provide the probability of selecting this action. We then specify what inputs should be entered into the page, in this case clicking a submit button. Then we specify the expected output page, or the page that we expect to move to from clicking the submit button. We specify the probability of going to this page, and then we specify what data we expect to see in the different output fields of the page. Once features are written, they can be visualized individually, as we can see here in the example of the Operations Manager feature being visualized, or they can be visualized in total as part of the whole model. Now let's generate test initialization procedures for the manual test cases and run a test case. We call a command line to generate the initialization procedures. What this will do is it will read the manual tests, parse them, recover a model from them, and then generate the test initialization procedures. So there you can see that the procedures have been generated, and if we go to Visual Studios, we can see that the file needs to be reloaded because it's been regenerated. We can see the procedures as methods in the file. For example, go to Start Page, go to CSR Start Page, which simply navigates to the Start Page and verifies the URL has been created. If we go to a more complex one, for example, go to Team Lead Delete Fee Page Saved, or go to the Team Lead's Delete Fee page that's been saved, there are a number of actions performed from the start page highlighted in green, and a number of steps for each action below that which that action performs. And in sequence, these are then performed, bringing the test to the required initialized state. So let's go on and execute a test. We can see over here in the Test Explorer window a test that's previously failed. So let's run that. So you can see the test starts with loading up the start page. It creates a delete fee, and then it takes some time to set up some test data or a principal account with which to perform the test. Once done so, it'll fill out the principal account field with the required test account, and then fill out the remaining fields. So there we can see it's filled that out, and it's filling out the remaining fields with sensible values. It's saving the form initially, and then it's going to go through the form to check that the fields have been entered incorrectly, and then it's going to submit the form once it's done so. Upon submitting the form, it will then again, which it's done so now, go through up and down the form just to verify the fields have been entered correctly, and then close the browser when it completes the test as it done so now. And we can see the test is now passed again.